towards the 3 o'clock base that he had. Now going to clear the harassment was coming from Hwasin. Now actually going to endanger Hwasin's base at that location. Hwasin has his own drops coming in very close. There are Goliaths that are low in position. He's going to drop forces in defensive format. Should be able to actually clean this up. I think he has a larger number of tanks. Not as many Goliaths, but it does have a larger number of tanks. So he's going to help him in a siege battle. He's going to lose one of those tanks right off the bat. At this point, yeah, Hwasin has even more forces moving down towards the through the middle. We're going to see whether he actually puts those at a defensive installment. And HiyA has a huge line of tanks at 9 o'clock, which is exactly what forced Hwasin to take the natural expansion. But, you know, what are you going to do? He's trying to hold HiyA off from that position. HiyA still has more dropships in play, 5, perhaps even 6, while HiyA just has 3 at this point. He just doesn't really know what... I personally don't know it, and I don't even know what Hwasin knows. Well, he would know more than I know. But don't really know what Hwasin should expend his minerals on. I mean, if he tries to go for dropships, if he gets more dropships, it means he won't have quite as many troops on the ground. And he needs every siege tank he can. Every siege tanks he can use. Now the harassment, the lower left hand of Hwasin is now going to be neutralized by HiyA. He's going to move his CC right back into position, start mining from there again. And Hwasin really needs to break that base at 9 o'clock. He's going to put down the mineral only at the inside 11 o'clock, and he desperately needs more bases. He just does not have the mining to support an army. Does not have the mining to support losing the army. That's especially important. HiyA will lose forces, and they'll instantly be coming back. Hwasin's going to lose forces. They're slowly going to crawl back out of the factories much, much, much slower. So in all that, it's a very horrible position. HiyA once again preparing to take it on one another base. Now going to drop upon some force that Hwasin has here, trying to protect his 9 o'clock base. Going to clear it up completely, and now actually going to move out, possibly try to take on the natural expansion. We're going to see. I'm not seeing any answer. Okay, Hwasin moving back with tanks just now, dropping on the forces that were at the ramp. Now though, HiyA's going to start sieging the CC. Should be floated up right now for Hwasin. He's going to try to move in with dropships. There's only one single Goliath to defend, so they actually are going to drop right on top of these tanks. Clear HiyA's line at 9 o'clock position, so that's something from Hwasin there. He should be able to actually put down a CC at the 9 o'clock base. Instantly a scan goes off from HiyA, I believe. Just as soon as he lost those forces, he decided, okay, what happened there? Okay, this is what Hwasin has there. This is what I need to do there. This is what I need to think about over here, there. Because what you got to understand for these players is that they're so focused. They need to know every single detail on the map. They need to know what's happening outside the fog of war. They need to know what's happening inside of their own bases. How many forces am I producing here? How many minerals am I producing there? How is my economy? At what rate will my economy rise? What can I do here, there, and at the same time, they got to think about what their opponent is doing. HiyA has to think, could Hwasin be trying to retake more bases? If he's retaking more bases, what do I need to stop him from doing that? StarCraft, people that do not know StarCraft, do not even have any understanding of StarCraft, just think StarCraft as an RTS, don't really understand it as a big game. StarCraft is a very economy-forced game. The economy, and it's just so weird how it's almost perfected to the point how the economy just 100% completely focuses and completely affects on everything within the game. What you can do, what you can allow yourself to do, what you must focus on. We're going to see the first person view of Hwasin. You can see that it's starved, really starved for minerals, has some gas, but also not really too happy with gas. On the opposite side, we see that HiyA actually has an abundance of minerals, and actually using his gas to perfection, doesn't have a lot of it, which means that he's using it a lot. So with his abundance of minerals, which means that every single piece of gas he gets, he will always be using it for something. Again, now clearing up, sending forces to the 9 o'clock position, clearing up the forces there, going to try to again harass the base of the Hwasin. Hwasin does have reinforcement coming. We're going to see how HiyA reacts to this. It's always really fun to see how pro players play for the first person view, really how they pay attention to everything. You can see also his minimap. He knows what Hwasin has and really what it can react to. I think in the end, really, Hwasin's 9 o'clock base has not really paid off too much. He got spotted far too quickly, and not only did he get spotted a little bit quicker than he would have wanted, he also got taken out quicker than he wanted. He's actually going to drop forces just on this tank line, on this Goliath line. I think he might have sacrificed a dropship for that, but he'll definitely take it to clear it out. But HiyA instantly has reinforcements flying in. Not really sure who's more worried at this point. Hwasin desperately trying to hold his 9 o'clock base, has his natural still mining a little bit, is reestablishing in 12 o'clock that I believe he had earlier in the game. But HiyA still has all of his earlier bases, which still have minerals at some places, at least. Hwasin is slowly retaking base, is slowly retaking back force, is slowly actually keeping some forces on the ground, preventing HiyA. I'm actually seeing in army terms, in force terms, I'm seeing Hwasin actually do more damage to the forces of HiyA than the other way around. HiyA might have the superior economy, but, you know, if you can't actually use that superior economy, a superior economy is not so you can use all of your forces for cannon fodder. Now HiyA actually going to go clear out the ridges. That is natural expansion. Finally has enough to clear this out. So Hwasin not going to be able to keep any sort of threat to the natural expansion. HiyA not going to be able to retake it. Of course, critically, HiyA did not have this natural expansion for a very, very long time, for a very extended period of time. And this has allowed slowly Hwasin to possibly crawl his way back into this game. Just HiyA has to really take advantage of his resources, the amount of resources that he has. Not really putting down much in the way of bases. He's mining out minerals everywhere. He doesn't really have much in the way of gas, of course. That's one of the problems. As the first-person view showed, he had plenty in minerals, but in gas, he was a little bit struggling, trying to mine some gas at different locations. Hwasin should think about possibly taking the double gas himself, so he'll have his own decent amount of gas. Of course, what was really helpful for Hwasin, taking that 9 o'clock base, even though he kind of semi-held it for a while, was forced to move to the natural expansion there, kind of move back and forth, but he still he lost it temporarily, then he regained it. So he's kind of managed to hold himself on possibly the needed gas that he needed. And now some forces trying to move inside the middle. Not really seeing, what really interesting about this map is that I haven't really seen any sort of army movement in the middle. Both forces have just gone around harassing gases, harassing bases, harassing natural expansions, harassing gases. Hwasin going to fly around, put down the 9 o'clock base. Actually, 9 o'clock natural expansion is going to try to take the other gas there as well. I'm going to see what he tries to. He's establishing base at 12 o'clock again, so he's going to try to. He's inching his way. I got to say, he's slowly inching his way back into this game. He's lost not as many forces as he could have. He's trying to slowly gain back bases. If he doesn't lose them, he's going to be in pretty good position. He has a lot of dropships in play now, 7 or 8 dropships. His base there got scanned. As high as moving forces there, Hwasin actually just putting down a couple of tanks and Goliaths, and he has those dropships in play just in case he decides to move forces down there. He's reestablishing bases all over the place at the point that he even has some SCVs all over the place that aren't actually mining. But HiyA actually has, I believe he's mining minerals at the lower left. He's mining minerals at the 3 to 4 o'clock, possibly just there. Okay, he's also mining minerals at his natural expansion. There's 3 mining mineral bases. Gas in his main is definitely dead. Gas's natural expansion is should be fully active. And he has a gas at the 3 o'clock. Not really sure which else in the way of gas he has. Hwasin most likely has already depleted the gas at the natural, at the main. Has both gas at 9 o'clock position. Now going to try to take the gas at the upper left. So in that regard, he could be in a pretty decent position. It's all going to come down to, I'm not quite sure if HiyA has, there should be a gas at the lower left hand as well. I apologize if I'm not quite correct in that fact. The 100% details of the map do not quite spawn in my head when I want them to, as it does with some maps. I think I just saw... Okay, it's another butterfly! Why do these butterflies materialize in my room to bother me while I'm commentating? Especially as decent actions going on in front of my face. Just both players, none of them really moving out so far, just trying to establish bases. Hwasin trying to take 2 gases at the upper left hand. That's really going to come in handy, especially if you manage to hold it. Go away, stupid butterfly, flying a light and die. Christ. So, let's see here, while I was distracted. More buildings being put down by HiyA. Yay. Still just moving his forces through the middle, trying to find an opening. We're going to see what actually gets caught or not, just with the huge movement he's doing there. It has some dropships alongside to support, but Hwasin has all of his dropships moving into support is inside 11 o'clock. Definitely going to want to hold that HiyA, going to be forced to move back a little bit. Has a lot of Goliaths alongside a huge number of tanks, so if he actually can use those to perfection, he's in a pretty good position. I think he has a larger force than Hwasin, but Hwasin has a more maneuverable force with more dropships in play. Together, HiyA again putting down turrets all over the place. I haven't even seen turrets from Hwasin yet. I honestly don't believe I've seen turrets from Hwasin yet. I don't even know he put down an eBay, said, you know what? I need those minerals. I can't waste 125 minerals on a frickin' eBay. I'm not gonna pay 75. Okay, never mind. He has a turret. Awkward. So yeah, Hwasin actually not mining the gas at 9 o'clock, probably just establishing just now as he puts down his SCVs there. HiyA, of course, has the gases at the lower left. And at this point, not really sure economically. When you look at the troop size, HiyA definitely has more troops. He's been able to... Oh, look at those tanks. Has a lot of dropships alongside, so it could actually come down to a huge drop. I think HiyA actually has his tanks on patrol in the middle. They're just running right and left. He's like, okay, I'm going to put you guys in patrol, and now I'm going to move you guys up. Right into the face of fire. Hwasin has some forces. He has a better position for a surround, but got all of his tanks to the right side instantly crushed. Is putting up both players putting up a huge siege here in the middle. A little bit